So question 1, you're being asked to evaluate. Evaluate just essentially means solve, but it can't say solve because there's no equal sign. So you have 46 minus 2 times 4 squared plus 3 squared. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, says we have to do the exponents first. So I'm going to rewrite what does not have exponents. 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9. So then, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, says we have to multiply first. So negative 2 times 16 is negative 32. I rewrite what I have not done yet.
It's to the third.
I'm done with it. You don't have to worry about this.
Okay, thank you.
It's to the third.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 3 to the third, thank you. 3 to the third is 27. So then, we have adding and subtracting, and we're going from left to right. So 46 minus 32 is?
14.
Plus 27 is?
41.
And the answer should be 41, and it is. Number 2. Is that right? For number 2, we're finding the sum. Now, we need to know the counting number, we need to know the sum of the first and the last number, and we also need to know the range. So the counting number, well, what are we counting by here? 5. The sum of the first and the last number is? Well, 14 plus 164 is 178. And the range is 164 minus 14, which is 150. So what we need to do is we need to first divide the range by the counting number. And 150 divided by 5 is 30. And we always add 1. So we have 31. And we're going to multiply that times the sum. And we're going to divide that by 2. Now, this kind of looks pretty ugly, so I wanted to divide first. So how many times does 2 go into 178? Well, it goes in 8, carry the 1, 86 times. 89 times, thank you. And so we have 31 times 89. Now, obviously, you're not allowed to use a calculator, but in the interest of time, so we have 89 times 31. So we get 2,759, which is the correct answer. Number 3. The function. Now, this is in function notation. For most students, it would be easier if I just said y equals 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. And then it goes on to say that we're to find f of 5. In other words, x is equal to 5. So instead of x, I'm going to write 5. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. 3 times 5 squared minus 6 times 5 plus 4. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, says we do exponents first, but 5 squared is 25 times 3 minus 6 times 5 plus 4. I highly recommend you rewrite everything as you go through. So 3 times 25 is 75 minus 30 plus 4. 75 minus 30 is 45 plus 4. 45 plus 4 is 49. And that's our answer. Number 4. The video records a robber in front of a counter that is 3.5 feet high. In the video, the robber appears 3 inches tall, and the counter appears 2 inches tall. How many inches tall is the bank robber? Oh, so if I am if the counter is 3.5 feet tall, how many inches is this? Well, 3 times 12 is 36, plus a half a foot, which is 6 inches. So that's 42 inches. So I know that 42 inches over the bank robber is going to equal the height of the bank robber in the video under the height of the counter. What's the scale factor to go from here to here? 21. So what am I going to multiply this by?
21.
So 3 times 21 is
63.
inches tall. So number 5. The mean of a set of 40 numbers is 44. 1/4 of the numbers are increased by 4. What is the mean of the new set? So if I have 40 numbers and the mean is 44, what is the sum of all the numbers added together? How would I do that?
You would multiply the mean by the amount of numbers there are.
Right, so 40 times 44, carry the 0, that's 6, carry the 1. So that's 1,760. Now it says 1/4 of the numbers are increased by 4. So what is 1/4 of the numbers?
10.
10. So 10 of the numbers are increased by 4. How many more will that be? 40, because if I have 10 numbers that are 4 more, 10 times 4 is 40. So I'm going to add the 40 on because that's going to be added to my sum. So I get 1,800. So how many total numbers are there?
40.
There are 40. So let's go ahead and do this. So I can lop off that right there. So 4 goes into 18 4 times with 20 left over. 4 goes into 25 times, so it's 45. All right. What is half of the reciprocal of 0.05? So 0.05. So the first thing I need to do is I need to figure out what this is as a fraction. So how would I do that?
Okay, so it's like 5's in the hundreds place, so it'd be like 5 over 100.
Yeah, so 5 over 100. So I can reduce that.
1 over 20.
1 over 20. What's the reciprocal of 1 over 20? 20. And then it says, what is half the reciprocal? What is half of 20?
10.
10. There you go. All right. So the next one, what is the 5th term of an arithmetic sequence? When you see arithmetic sequence, that is another way of saying linear. So in other words, y equals mx plus b is going to work. Geometric is a little different. I don't think you'll see that. So the 5th term in an arithmetic sequence is 42. And the 7th term is 58. What is the 2nd term? So essentially, I'm making a table here, right? And we need to, to figure the 2nd term. So if I go from 42 to 58, that's the difference of?
16.
So what's half of 16?
8.
8. So I know that this is going to be 50, and I can work backwards. So what's going to go here?
24. Or wait, no, 30.
How about here?
20.
How about here?
18.
And so 18 is the answer. So arithmetic means linear, y equals mx plus b will work. All right. Sally can type 90 words per minute. I'm going to write that down. How many words can she type in 1 hour and 45 minutes? Well, how many minutes is 1 hour 45 minutes? There's 60 minutes in an hour.
105.
That's 105. So all I have to do is multiply this together. So I know that's going to be 0. So 9 times 5 is 45. Carry the 4. That drops down here. So there we go. 9,450 words. Number 9. Evaluate the expression. Oh, I love these because they're so simple and they come up so often. So this is scientific notation, and you'll remember in scientific notation, you will have a number with a decimal place and only one number to the left of the decimal place. Now in multiplication, I can rearrange the order of things. So I can also think of this as 3.5 times 4.2 times 10 to the negative third times 10 to the 8th. Well, when I'm multiplying two numbers that have the same base and they have exponents, I add the exponents. What is negative 3 plus 8? 5. So I know I'm going to have 10 to the 5th. I have to multiply this out. So I'm going to go 35 times 42. I'm neglecting the decimal places for now. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1, so that's 21. That's 6 and 12. So add them together, so you get 1,470. And then I had 2 decimal places here, so the decimal place goes here. Now, I have 14.70. You know that in scientific notation, I can't have 2 place values here. I need to move it over 1 in a positive direction. So my final answer is going to be 1.47 times 10 to the 6. It has to go up because I moved it over. And there you have it, folks. All right, number 10. Number 10 asks us to find the positive difference between the range and the median of the following data set. Well, if I need a median calculation, I better write them in order. So I have 1, 1, and if I don't cross them out here, I'm going to miss them. How many 3s? I have 3 3s. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 5. Oh, I have a 4. I have a 5. I have a 6. I have a 6 and an 8. So for my median, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So my median's in the middle. My median is
3.5.
3.5, 3.5. And my range is going to be 8 minus 1, which is a whopping 7. And it wants the positive difference. And well, 7 minus 3.5 is 3.5. All right. Number 11. Number 11. The sum of 4 consecutive odd natural numbers is 1. That's not what I wanted to do. Is 168. What is the smallest of those numbers? So the smallest number is going to be x. And these are odd numbers, right? So the next odd number is going to be 2 more than my first odd number, right? So that's going to be x plus 2. What's my next odd number? I'm running out of room. And my fourth one, because I have 4, is going to be x plus 6. And that equals my 168. So how many x's do I have? I have x plus x plus x plus x, which is
4.
4 x's. 2 plus 4 plus 6 is equals 168. So now it's time for the train tracks. So we have 4x is equal to 156 divided by 4 divided by 4. And x is equal to 39. All right, next page. It's taking longer than I thought. All right, change the repeating decimal 60 into 99ths. So there are 2 repeating numbers, a 6 and a 3, so it has to be over 99. So what goes into 63 and 99? Well, 3 does. So that's the easy one to figure out, right? So we have 2, 1 over 33. Well, as luck would have it, 3 goes into this one too, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be 7 over 11. All right, number 13. A fruit by the foot roll is 1 yard long and weighs, so that's 36 inches, and weighs 0.75 ounces. How many ounces does 7 inches of fruit roll weigh? So I know that 36 over 7 is going to equal 0.75 over x. Now here is a fun little trick. Well, I could do it this way since here's a fun little trick. So this is called cross multiplication. So I know that 36x is equal to 7 times 0.75. So I'm going to cheat here in the interest of time. So I'm going to go 7 times 0.75 divided by 36. And so I get, oh, but they want it in a fraction. That is a royal pain. Okay. So, oh well. It would be nice if we could get away with that. So, in this case, what we're going to do is we don't want any decimals. It pays to read the whole problem, doesn't it? So what can I multiply? What can I multiply this fraction by to get no decimals? If I 10, that would get me 7.5. So I want to multiply by 100. So if I multiply this by 100, multiply this by 100, get 36 over 7 is equal to 75 over 100x. That is just ugly. All right. So we need to figure out how to do this. So I'll stop it here, and I'll continue later.